Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Red Sea podcast. This is Dennis, as always, coming to you from once again melting hot Greece. And today I've been having some connection issues that are out of my control. It's due to some workings of the company. So I hope it's a better one and it's probably going to be a bit of a quicker one today. Before I start anything, I wanted to once again thank you for all the support that the show in its very brief existence has been getting. And I wanted to, of course, remind you that I'll be here giving it my all any time anything's needed. And with the goal always being 2 shows per week, and with um, guests hopefully coming very soon, but we'll get more into that when the time comes. Also, before I start anything, don't forget to, even if you're watching this now, even if you're watching this after, like, subscribe here and follow what the banner says. The show, as I always mention, is, of course, here on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I respond to any comments, I respond to any messages, any DMs. You're free to send me anything, Greek or English or otherwise. And anyone's welcome. Anyone is absolutely welcome. I think I forget to do for the second show in a row. And the thing I will always focus on is that will always be in the comments, unless we already have a guest on. Uh, so you're free to join in, drop your opinion, and say absolutely anything you want. So, getting into it relatively quickly, I am gonna start with I think outside for both football and basketball, and that's wishing the swiftest and of course best of recoveries to Nikolaos Soupanis, uh, Olympiacos' own, of course, volleyball player, uh, successfully operated on today, and of course, as the whole Olympiacos family, we wish him the best. Now, I'll actually get into some basketball to start everything off, but not uh, the actual EuroLeague and the Fener games that I will get into in a bit. I want to talk about the next generation tournament, and I want to talk about one specific player, and that of course is Benjamin Abosi. Benjamin Abosi, I'm very sorry if I butchered the name. The extremely impressive under 18s player that honestly shined extremely bright. Of course, got team of the tournament. Have his performance on day two with 26 points and 10 rebounds and 35 uh, PIR. Honestly, seems like the future is bright for him. The future is extremely bright, and just like everyone, I can't wait to see what he can bring. Of course, in the aforementioned Next Generation tournament, we we also beat Panathinaikos and claimed the fifth position. So, of course, everyone should be proud of those boys that will do even more in the future. So, yeah, with that out of the way, I think uh, First manners to talk about the Lamia game. Of course, seeing an Olympiacos that we're not that used to seeing anymore. Seeing an Olympiacos that, as I mentioned in the full-time post as well, just clearing the game from the first half as we stood honestly against teams like Lamia, seeing a dominant Olympiacos, and seeing an Olympiacos. Okay, my camera is gone. I'm back. Seeing an Olympiacos that scores five away from home. Uh, Olympiacos hadn't done that since the Ike game, the 1-5 Ike game in Noaka back in 2020, was it? I think, or 2021, one of the two. So yes, it's just the Dilibar's work is showing more and more by the day, and the Dilibar's work is specifically showing through the living embodiment of his work. That is Stefan Jovetic. Stefan Jovetic, who has been doing, I think, incredibly is an understatement. Uh, in the Lamia game, for example, of course, the MVP by far, getting the incredible goal he got, just completely destroying um, Koselev, getting an assist, and also winning penalty for the team that, uh, if I'm not that mistaken, a Jubelka be converted. Yeah, just an incredible part of the team that, as I mentioned in the previous episode as well, that needs to be here. It's as simple as that. He needs to be here in the summer and he needs to be here next season. A luxury of a backup option, and if he can continue staying fit and working as hard as he is now under Medilibar, he can do even more, I'm pretty sure. Going through the goals quickly, uh, of course, the goal that started it all and that opened the floodgates was Stefan Jovetic's very composed close corner shot that came from an amazing assist. Can't take it away from him. A man that had a very good game as well, and that is Elson Martins, who's finding his form again. The second goal was the converted penalty that I mentioned that Jovetic won and Ayub be converted. Then came Lamia's first own goal by the courtesy of Kyriakos Papadopoulos. Ayub would have scored it. Let's not lie to ourselves. That's why it was given as Ayub's goal at the start, either way. But I don't know if it's unlucky. I don't know if it's incompetence, but it happened. Uh, then, then came one of the most incredible own goals I have seen in my entire life, and that came by the courtesy of Georgios Kornezos. For anyone who didn't see it, I wish I could pull it up, but Cosmote would strike me from the face of existence. Uh, Santiago Esse, if I'm not that mistaken, uh, tries to swing in a ball. Cornezos lifts his leg, the ball hits his knee, and lobs over the keeper, hits the post, and just rolls in. I think if you have that man try the same deflection 100 times, I honestly don't think he does that again. And then, of course, uh, just 4 minutes later, the defensive mistake that led to El Arabi just stealing the ball, basically making Koselev look like a dog, and same for Kyriakos Papadopoulos, and converting the fifth. And then around the 90th, the 88th minute, Shio Lake just scores the honor for Ramia. There's not that much to say besides just the team finally doing what should be uh, self-evident and finally showing the dominant character that we want to see, the dominant football that we want to see. Uh, Again, a point that needs to be risen and a point that is honestly interesting. Uh, it was, as I said, an absolute one one in a million spectacle. I think that's the best way to describe it. But yes, back to what I was on about. This is the football we want to see, and this is the football Medilibar wants to see as well. And just I'm finally happy to assist him. Yes, I honestly can't think of any striker that would have scored a goal like that, a lob like that. Much appreciated. Uh, Now, moving on to the point I wanted to make, a point that is very interesting, just kind of snaking into the Fenerbahce game, but a point that is very interesting to think about on, for Thursday, and that is Cholakis now clearly being the number one keeper for Olympiacos, which again I am extremely happy about. Like I couldn't be happier about that. I've been pressing for July to get more games uh, since last year. So I think he plays on Thursday. Like surely he plays on Thursday, right? I don't see any scenario where he doesn't. I don't see any scenario where Paspalakis just suddenly reappears in the starting 11 after a month with no games. I'm pretty sure maybe it's 3 weeks. I don't necessarily remember. But yes, I don't see any scenarios where he doesn't play. Of course, a lot of people rested for this game. Uh, Even Rodinei getting subbed off in the 46th. El Kabi getting subbed off in the 58th for Youssef El Arabi, who finally got some proper game time back into his system. Retsus getting subbed off early as well. Zelson getting rest time. Ibora getting a solid 71 minutes coming back from injury, performing quite well, honestly. The standouts of the game, of course, being Stefan Jovetic, and for me at least, another standout of the game was Nelson Abbey, a man that whenever he gets the chance to play, he just grabs it by the neck and kills it. He plays amazingly every time. And honestly, just team all around playing amazingly. Nothing to complain about, of course. The MVP for me being Stefan Jovetic by a mile. And yeah, uh, honestly, I hope they carry this momentum into Thursday. One more thing to worth mentioning and reminding people that listen to this. Daniel Podense didn't play yesterday, and Daniel Podense won't play on the first game this Thursday as well because of too many yellows accumulated on both uh, the Super League and the Conference League, but he will be back like normal on the game in Turkey next Thursday. Uh, now. I mean, surely I have to move into this. The Thursday game against Fener. Of course, everyone saw that Fenerbahce did what they said they would do, basically, and fielded I think it was their under 19s for the game against Galatasaray, with Mauro Icardi opening the score in 55 seconds, and then just the team working off the pitch. With Galatasaray, of course, being awarded the game and proceeding to play their reserves for the traveling fans to watch the game. So it will be very interesting to see what Fener do on Thursday. Like I am not aware of any information or any announcement made officially, at least for Thursday. But of course, I'll update once I'm aware of anything. And yeah, but this show and me personally always like to focus on the football aspect of things, talking about the sport. So I think I'll start with my predicted 11. And for anyone that's in the comments, I would love to hear some more predicted 11s and score predictions, even though I will put up a post about prediction by Wednesday, probably. So yes, starting off with the goalkeeper, as I said, I do think that Jolakis keeps his spot. I honestly can't see Pascalakis coming back in. Uh, then, of course, the partnership of David Carmo, who was arrested against Lamia, and Panayotis Regis, who Medilibar, you'll have to excuse me for that. My phone fell down. So yeah, and Regis, who Medilibar has publicly said that he believes in. Uh, then, of course, the duo of Ortega and Rodinei, even though I would love to see Omar Richards against Fener, because when the man actually plays in his position, which of course is the left back, he puts in an amazing showing. But of course, I am one of the people that have been advocates for Francisco Ortega, and of course, I'll be fine with him playing as well, as long as we don't see uh, Kini again. Then I would, of course, go for Chiquinho, Horta, and Santiese. If Horta isn't fit enough, I would, of course, go for the midfield of Chiquinho, Ese, and Fortunis. And depending, as I said, on if Horta is fit enough. Uh, wait, no. What am I? What am I even saying? Uh, keep forgetting that. Mm, hmm. No, no, no. This is interesting. I keep forgetting that I'm pretty sure at least Zelson can't play on Thursday. I need to check this. Yeah, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, so I think that means it's about the same. So it would have to be uh, Masuras, and it will have to be Masuras. And I would say Masuras because I do not think that Andreolta is fit enough to pull a full 90 in a European, at least not for the first leg. Uh, but if Martins can play, I honestly am blanking completely on who can. And I don't know why, because my thought process could be either Orta and Ness in the midfield with Fortunis and Masuras, which that will probably be the 11. It will be Orta, Chiquinho, and Chanties with Fortunis and El. But God forbid Orta can't start. Who plays? Ah, that's something to think about. Let's hope Orta can start the game. Orta can start the game. So yeah, I honestly not much more to say. I can't really put in an analysis on what Fener have done uh, since after the Trabzonspor incident. They've been a total shit show. Like no one knows what they'll do. It's unpredictable. Like of course, as I mentioned in the last episode, they're gonna have no fans here because they are serving a suspension. So God knows what they'll do. We'll see. If I had to put uh, if I had to put out a proper uh, score prediction and a but and a score prediction and an unbiased score prediction, I'd go for a 2-0 or a 3-1 victory. I think so. Only because of the lack of minutes and like everything going on backstage at Fener. Even if they play, like surely there will be distractions and everything. So I'll either go for a 2-0 or a 3-1. Now, uh, I do not know if I'll have anything else before uh, Thursday. I probably will put something up talking solely about the Fenerbahce game. Probably it's gonna be pre-recorded, but we'll see. Now, now on the hot subject of the last couple of days, I didn't even have to change the banner for this one, and it's this. On the weekend, of course, as everyone hopefully probably knows, I can Pauk drew 2-2 in the Hagia Sophia with, let me check who it was, with Osdoev scoring the equalizer in the last few minutes. Panathinaikos beat Aris 0-2, and of course we demolished Lamia 1-5. So the changes on the league table go as follows, if I can find it. Uh, there it is. Pauk stands top still with 67. Ike still stands second with 66. Panathinaikos now closing on them and stand third with 65. And we close in as well and stand fourth with 60. Uh, there I am back. So, as I was saying, uh, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen people saying we're back, and I always refer to a post from a wonderful page that goes by the name of Only Football, Only FTPL, and the photo that they post once in a while saying it's over, we're so. I've seen things from logical to biased to in the middle to completely wild. And to be totally honest, uh, to have chances with the league, we need to go ahead and do a 6 out of 6. We need to beat, we need to beat Puck both times. We need to beat Tag. We need to beat Panathinaikos, and of course do the job against Paris and Lamia. Do I think no? It's definitely not impossible, but is it likely? Not at all. Doing a 6 out of 6 is very unlikely. Now, do I think the league will go down to the wire and be decided in the last match day again? Yes, I do. Now, whether it will be decided by the Panathinaikos Olympiacos game, whether it will be decided and yes, but I do believe that it will be decided in the last match day. I've heard opinions going from that game that will decide it will be Panathinaikos Olympiacos. Do I believe that one of the two teams mentioned, us and Panathinaikos, will win the league? I don't believe Panathinaikos have a chance. I think they will crash out. I don't think Terim will take them all the way to the last match day, but I do think that that match will play a big part in deciding the league. I think if we lose points, of course, it's game by game. Of course, if we lose points to PAOK after Europe, after the two Europe games, none of this matters. But say we beat PAOK, say it does go down to the wire. If we lose points that final day, think the league goes to wire. I think the league goes back, and I didn't expect to say this, but at this because no matter what state the team is in, a derby is a derby. And we haven't had the easiest time against Panathinaikos the last few years. We have to admit that. So yes, it's honestly too chaotic to put a solid prediction in. I still think we can finish second. I am not gonna speak about the league just yet. For now, what matters is that we're playing good football. We're playing dominant football where we need to, and we're playing good football where we have to. I'm gonna leave football at that for now, and we'll come back. As far as I've been informed, uh, it's only the Olympiacos game that has been postponed. Aris Haik and Lamia Panathinaikos will happen this weekend. So after the first leg analysis, we'll also talk about those games and see how that shapes up the standings, even if we haven't played. So yeah, I am gonna leave football at that, and we'll move on. We'll move on to something equally as straight. We'll move on to the EuroLeague, and as everyone knows, I'm pretty sure we play Fenerbache back-to-back days in two different sports. Uh, and beast than the football Fener is. Basketball Fener is breaking records under Saras, but also the basketball Fener lost to Efes with Will Clyburn reminding us of his last year's self, of course, coming out in a post-game interview proclaiming as the best three in Europe, which honestly, but that's not the point. We don't care about Efes right now. And yeah, we need to do it no matter what happens. We need to do it, of course. Don't hold me, man. Let me actually go check. I don't know. You'll have to excuse me today. I'm as tired as my internet is. Uh, the game is here, yes. I was correct. Game sold out. The people will play a big part, at least in my opinion. Uh, and everyone needs to show up. Hopefully, Isaiah gets over his little just deep in form. Hopefully, Peters, of course, goes back to his best, and people like Moses Wright and Milu back also. Petrushev will more than likely be back as well, so will be fully healthy and with the help of everyone. We're probably gonna get through it and secure fifth place. Uh, unless something insane happens. Like us lose because if we tie in the record with Barcelona and Monaco, doesn't matter. They're above us, even in uh, the same win-lose record. But if Panathinaikos somehow bottle it against Alba, they drop down to fifth. And the question, of course, is being asked with logical placements. And that question is whether we as fans prefer Monaco or Barcelona. Of course, I agree with the answer that we fear no one and that this team is not going to get beaten. I think by either in a 5 game series, because of course, remember it is a 5 game series. It's not one game like the Final Four. But but I do have a slight preference uh, towards Barca. I don't wanna go through the heart attacks we only have gone through with Monaco, and Barca's deep in form ending the season. Yes, they did win an El Clasico in the league just a couple of days ago, but in the EuroLeague they had a massive dip in form, of course, ending up fourth. Uh, I think they're the preferable opponent, of course. No disrespect to their coach, but way more inexperienced than Coach B, Grimao, Roger Grimao, Barca legend as a player, but way less inexperienced than Coach B. So yeah, they'd be a much more preferable opponent, at least in my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see. Tigres versus Madrid, Monaco and Bayern, FS against Zvezda, Maccabi against Armani, Panathinaikos, as mentioned, are playing Alba Berlin, who are probably in EuroLeague news in general. Alba Berlin are probably losing their position in EuroLeague by next season. So we'll have to see about that as well. We'll have to see. Of course, the Dubai team are going in the Euro Cup next season. Something I have publicly stated I disagree with. It's a whole different story. Money is a whole different story in sports. But yes, uh, as mentioned, we play Fener, Partizan play Valencia, Bologna play Basconia, and as well play Barcelona. One last thing worth mentioning, of course, in the EuroLeague that may not affect us now, but it will affect us probably. Hasn't been sealed. It is between FS, FS Armani and uh, Partizan. Partizan will qualify if uh, FS are beaten by, of course, Red Star, which is ironic. Uh, it reminds me of when we had the Dyke in the league by beating Panathinaikos last year. Uh, FS qualify if they win. That's simple, and I am not aware if the same goes for a qualification. FS lose, they qualify, which I don't think so. Maybe they beat Maccabi, FS lose, and Partizan lose as well. But again, don't hold me on that. I'm only sure about the Partizan qualification, nothing else. And of course, FS qualifying if they win. Now, I am gonna end it here. I know this was a bit of a shorter episode, but of course, little to talk about connection issues that I hope haven't been too much, and me being absolutely exhausted. I will be back soon. Of course, I told you all that I will be here to cover on even the slightest things, even the worst of days, and I can't thank you enough. As said, please just follow the show everywhere. Updates will be out about all the games, and they will start working on even more graphs. Getting Jason here, just anything, but I will work for it. I can promise you that. Just thank you, and for everything that the show has gotten. But alas, thank you.